Good morning, Sandra Smith. Barry Johnson for president. It was a delight to see that you followed me on Twitter. That's a first. I've been working real hard for America to not only tell my story about Obama stealing my blessings twice to win both of the elections. My current story is on my latest visit to DC. I was able to meet with Tucker Carlson, second time I've met him. He was a delightful host, took me into DC Caller, and I was able to tell much of my story. Sandra, I encourage you or some of your staff to check on that. But I have a follow-up story that's far more important and immediate for today. Looking for a motel to stay at on New York Avenue, just a block away from the New York Times. There are 3 large motels that are filled with jihadists, armed to the teeth. 4 clips here, 4 clips up here, and some have banana clips in their pants on the side. Talked to one of the men and he spilled his guts, because that's how God uses me. And he said, we're going to be here for 3 months. So we've got a pretty good timeline of what their program is. Now, because I know statistical process control and I checked these 3 motels out, he even told me the names. I mean, these people aren't smart. No cars in the parking lots for the most part. So I went across town on another state street, directly diagonal. And the same thing there, empty parking lot, but I go into the office and they say, we're booked. Talking to a lady, she looked just like a regular hostess, but 2 men armed to the teeth came and glared at me. So I checked out one more on that street. Sure enough, the same thing. No cars in the parking lot, but they're booked. So Sandra, this story needs to be told. Your reporters got to get out there. It's a big story. Our nation is about to fall, and it's because that's what Barack Obama wants. I believe that God allowed this to happen to show that I have the power to bring peace in the world. Barack Obama's Muslim Brotherhood is only bringing destruction in the Mideast. Greece, England, Spain, when they were in control of the Mideast, it was just destruction. So we've got to turn this thing over to God. I suppose it's something to ask a Fox reporter to come all the way to Buffalo, Wyoming, but I'm going to. My story needs to be told. I've been working with Maria Bartiromo, starting on Google+. We drove gas prices down to $2 a gallon almost nationwide. Where I was located in DC, on Georgia Street, gas prices dropped 25 to 25 cents at those stations. That happens everywhere I go. Doesn't matter which state I've lived in. Gas prices always fall some. Now, I believe God created new oil at number 1 in Taft, California, for my landlady and her husband, Tommy, Laura and Tommy. They have a nursery there in Texarkana. All 5 of their wells started pumping again. She said one of them was $1 million well. I don't know whether she meant $1 million a month or $1 million a year. I've never had to worry about $1 million. You know what I'm saying? But my God does. I believe he's still in the business of creation. And that's why gas prices have fallen. Now, I'm promising 2 times GDP in 2 years because we're going to undo the practices of blind, restrictive government that have crashed General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, probably even DeSoto and Packard. It's time that we take the shackles off our American people so that we can grow. Something's got to be done with credit reporting because it's not honest and it still can be cheated. I know because my brothers use my name. Now, we've got a lot of work to do in this country, but we're going to have to do it under God to be successful. In this motel, one of the day managers is a Muslim. He was trying to convince me the Quran was right. Talked to me again this morning, and he said, "You know, you're interesting." He says, "When I talk to the Quran about you, you listen, but I know you don't like it." I said, "Well, I know that Jesus is real. God sent his son and gave us the Bible through the Holy Spirit." He said, "Well, Jesus is just a prophet like Muhammad." I said, "No, he's not a prophet. He's living in the Spirit. He came and had a fleshly body and died with it, but he's living in the Spirit at the right hand side of God." And he's just kind of looking at me dizzy. But I believe God has a way to bring peace in the entire world so that the Muslim community doesn't feel they got to kill everybody to be in charge. And that's simply when we expose Obama using a Christian to flip 2 elections. The Muslim people are going to say, "Now, wait a minute. That was supposed to be the most powerful man in the world, but he used Barry Johnson, and Barry Johnson's a Christian, and he says he's appointed by God for this day." Now, I know that God's bigger than Allah or Muhammad. He's proven it to me time and time again. Healings for cancer, protecting me from people shooting at me, poisoning me. So I'm saying that God is using this agent to bring peace in the world. We've just had your Fox number debate on finances. I didn't watch it. They're just saying the same old things. Nobody's got 2 times GDP in 2 years. Bush has got 4% growth, but we're going to have to work longer. He doesn't work in the first place. You hear what I'm saying? We need a leader that's honest and understands we the people. This is why I came to a small town to run for president. I've already had 4 people say they'd vote for me just on the facts I give them in 30 seconds. So, Sandra, thank you for adding me on Twitter. I'm going to send this video to you as soon as it uploads.